In today's video, I'm excited to share with you guys how I've integrated the iPad Pro 2020 into my photography workflow and how I seamlessly edit with it from my iMac desktop computer to my iPad in Lightroom and edit all my photo shoots for my clients and my personal work as well. I was and currently am using my 5K iMac desktop computer to do all my main photo and video editing. And for the longest time, I feel like I've wanted some extra real estate on my screen, so I've been looking out for a second monitor, and that's where the idea came across to get the iPad Pro. And I've been really loving this as part of my workflow, as I can use it as a second screen on my desktop computer, and it's a very minimal setup that doesn't take a lot of space on my desk, and I can kind of put it anywhere that I need it to be and just move it around very easily. And then the biggest bonus point of having the iPad Pro is that I can also use it as its own computer. So if I feel like editing outside in the fresh air, I can take it there. If I feel like editing on the couch while watching some TV in the background, I can do that as well. So that has been really handy, and I wanted to share with you guys this workflow in case anyone else is in the same position that I was, kind of wanting a second monitor or having something that makes editing just that little bit easier and more comfortable. So when I get back from a photo shoot, I head into the office to my desktop computer and download my SD cards to my computer and double back them up. And then I like to use a program called Photo Mechanic to do my culling. I'm still on the lookout for an app that I can use on the iPad to do culling, as unfortunately you can't use Photo Mechanic here, as I would really love that. So if you guys have any suggestions for that down in the comments, please let me know. Once I have my final selection of images, I like to create a new catalog in Lightroom Classic and import all my photos, making sure that Embed Smart Previews is ticked. Once your photos are finished importing, you then want to navigate to the top right-hand corner and select the cloud icon and press Start Syncing. And then you can either select all the photos that are in your catalog or just the particular photos that you want to sync to your device and click and drag them to all synced photographs. Then you give it a second and all those images will appear here on your iPad. So as you can see, this catalog on my desktop and my iPad are exactly the same. So if you guys are a Lightroom Classic user like me, then all you need to do is download Lightroom CC from Adobe Creative Cloud and transfer over your presets. So then they automatically sync from CC on desktop to your iPad or to your Lightroom mobile. So if I select an image here and head to my presets, you can see that all of my digital film presets are now synced to my iPad, which is super handy. So I'm going to tap on this image as this is the one that I want to edit today, and I want to take you guys through all the settings that we have on Lightroom on the iPad. There are some limitations of Lightroom on the iPad versus the desktop Lightroom, and there are also a lot of things kind of hidden in the editing menu as well, so I'll take you guys through that all very quickly. So the first thing we have here is light, where you have your classic exposure, highlight, contrast controls. So if we tap on this icon up here, we get our tone curve, and I absolutely love how this works on the iPad. You just have a giant tone curve overlay over your photo. And I find that this tone curve is so much easier to use than the one on desktop. The desktop tone curve is quite finicky and it's a little bit hard to do very fine adjustments, whereas here it's super smooth and very easy to use. So here you've got your main tonal curve, and then you've got your red channel, your green channel, and your blue channel. The next menu we have here is color, where you can adjust your temperature and your tint. You've also got a little black and white control button, and you've also got auto white balance as well. So if you select that, you can move it to a white point, and you can see how it affects your white balance before pressing OK to accept it. So under the color menu, if you tap on this little icon where the tone curve was before, you get our HSL controls. So here you've got each of your color channels and the hue, saturation, and luminance for each of them. So if you don't like using HSL manually, just like desktop, there is also the click and drag option that does it automatically for you too. So if you click on this little icon here, you've got the hue, saturation, and luminance for each color. So I'm going to select luminance, click on the green leaves and brighten them up slightly. So you can brighten it by dragging it up and darken them by dragging it down. And then I'm going to go to saturation, and I will try to saturate that orange flower a little bit in the background and the greens too, and make them bit more vibrant. So I feel like that's a really handy control to have. The next menu we have is effects, where you've got your texture, clarity, dehaze, vignetting controls. And also, just in case you guys didn't know, something that I find really fun to do, which you can do on desktop and here as well. If you've adjusted a slider and you want it to go back to 0, you can just double tap it and it'll automatically go to 0. It's like my favorite shortcut in Lightroom. So this is where I find that something is very hidden in this effects menu. We have split toning here, which I kind of feel like would be better suited under color, but here it is. So we do have split toning in Lightroom Mobile. So split toning works pretty similar to the desktop version. I do find that the split toning, for me, it's easier to use it on the desktop versus the iPad. So here you have to click and drag your color picker over this color map here. So I'm gonna kind of pick yellow. And I don't know, for me, I find it a lot easier to have the slider to adjust the intensity of the color, whereas here you have to bring it up and down on the map. And then you've got your shadows as well, and then you can adjust the balance of the highlights versus shadows. And that looks pretty funky, so I'm gonna undo that and we'll just leave it with no split toning. Next up, we have detail, where you can apply sharpening to your photo. We also have some noise reduction, some color noise reduction. So next up, we have optics, and here you can select to remove chromatic aberration on or off, and you can select to enable lens correction on or off. This is where I feel like Lightroom on iPad has a slight limitation to Lightroom on a desktop. Usually when I enable lens correction on the desktop, you have 2 extra sliders where you can choose the amount of distortion and the amount of vignetting as well. I usually don't like it when it completely gets rid of vignetting, because I do like slightly darkened edges for some images. So I do wish you had the option of being able to choose that here in Lightroom on the iPad, but yeah, you only get the option to have it on or off. I'm gonna switch it on for this one though. And finally, the last thing we have is geometry, where this doesn't really work so much for portraits, but if you do architecture, photography, or photos with straight lines, this would come in a lot more handy. So a couple of other things that we have in Lightroom on the iPad. So here is our main adjustments menu. The next menu we have are the presets. So these are all my digital film presets imported here. Then you've got press done. Then you have a crop menu, so you can adjust the crop in your images. You've also got the healing brush tool as well, so you can use that to get rid of some blemishes. And then we have our selective edits, which is like our graduated filters and adjustment brush and things like that. So when you select that selective edits button, you want to click on this little plus in the top left-hand corner. And here you can either have an adjustment brush that you brush over your image, and then to the right, you can use your adjustments to change the exposure of a selective part of your photo. I'm gonna go back to our selective edits. The next one we have is the radial gradient brush tool. So if you click and drag, you can make a pretty big circle, however much you need, over your subject. And then the final one we have is our graduated filter. So from here, you click and drag over the side of the image that you want to apply it to. So for me, I think I want to darken the left side of the image. I'm gonna go into light and bring down the exposure. And then to each of those selective edits, aside from just editing the light, you can also edit the temperature, the tint, the saturation. So now that we've done all our edits on this image on our iPad, when I go back to my desktop, you'll see that those edits have automatically synced to my desktop computer. So then I'll go through and edit the rest of the photos that are in this catalog until I'm happy with how the final images look like. The final step of my workflow is to go back to my desktop and just double check the colors and exposure of each of the images that I've edited. I find that when you're editing on the iPad and you're out and about in different areas, especially if you go outside to sit in the sun or to get some fresh air, the ambient light can cause you to edit a little bit differently. So I like to just make sure that they look correct on my calibrated monitor in my office. But yeah, that is pretty much how I've integrated the iPad Pro 2020 into my photography workflow and how I edit my photos on both my desktop and on my iPad in Lightroom. I would love to know if you guys also use an iPad or a tablet to do your photo editing at home or in your office. And let me know if you would like to see some more videos about this down in the comments below if you have any suggestions. I was thinking we could try to do a retouch on the iPad because there is Photoshop here and I have been playing around with that. So let me know if that's a video that you guys would want to see. Also, if you enjoyed this video, I also have lots of other Lightroom tutorials, Lightroom desktop tutorials on my channel as well. I'll leave a playlist link down below in case you guys want to watch. But as always, thank you so much for watching. I make new videos every single week, so I will see you all next time. Bye!